This is just a quick reminder of what we're trying to achieve with this video. This is the next stage of development with the station, and this is where we're at for the moment. When we finished off the last part one, I just finished off the weighbridge hut, this thing here, and it was a little bit of a mess at the ridge tiles, so I did have to press it down a little bit more and make it more finished. What I've done now is I've secured this onto here, and I've made some copings for the top, which we're going to glue on in a minute, and this is the stonework here that's going to go through there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on and get the right position for it, and then I'm going to glue it on. I'm going to make sure I get this all lined up correctly. A little bit lower, there we go. And then with this one I'm going to run a bead down here, bead of glue, these have been made out of balsa wood, and what I've done, I've just put little niches, little slots in there to make them look like individual stones. So those are going to go on there now, going to be flush at the back. And now I've got that lined up correctly, just going to take it off, show you a little bit closer. Yeah, that's right, that's good. And I can show you how I put the door in place, and I put these little supports behind it to lift this up. So, and that's all back in place now, finished nicely there. I'm ready for putting the road in. So there's going to be a footpath coming down here, and then there's going to be a road at the front, and then we'll have the picket fence, but I've got to fill all this in as well. So this is the next stage now, is to get this embankment done up here, and it actually comes across part of this hut as well. So that's going to be the next stage. Oh, I've just found out this little return piece I forgot to put on, so I'll just glue that back on round the side of there now. Silly me, I've just realised something. This path can't be level here because we've got an embankment up here, and the road is going to be somewhere about this height. So either this has got to come up at a rake, or it's going to have some steps put in at the end. So I'll worry about that later, but it's just starting to come together now. I'm just getting the outline for the embankment there, and then I'll put some supports in, and then I'll glue it in place, and we'll show it you again. I've had a little change of tack here now. I've taken the plot of land that the station sits on, I've taken it off the main board, so I'm going to build it separate now. So I'm going to just see, I've done a little bit of gluing, we'll see what's underneath this now. Take all my weights off and stuff. Whoa! And we'll see what we've got left under here now. Okay, you can see now it's starting to build up to look something like it does in the real thing. This is a little bit low. I can build that up now with paper mache. I've got this glued down now, and as you notice, I've taken off the path. The path has gone, so I've got to determine what to do with this still. I may actually even make it level. These little stairs I built, they may be surplus to requirements now. I may even build over those and make it level all the way through. I'll decide that later, but so you can see now that this is where the road is going to come down inclined, and the station ends about here. So we've got a path, we've got a footpath coming down here first, and then the road on this side, and then I've obviously got all the landscaping to do and everything up here. So we're another step closer. I'm just putting the finishing touches on the road now. So I've been gluing all these pieces on here, and this is going to be the basis for the roadway. So I've got plenty of supports in there now, and when that's set, this roadway is going to go on the top of it like this. So we're well on the way again. The road's coming in now, and we'll have another update later. It's time for another dismantle again after another gluing session. So let's see what we've got this time. That's the wall, my two trusty flat irons, and that there. Now then, okay, this is what we've got now. We've got the road coming down. We've got a wall that's going to go somewhere from the end of the station building out to here, and then I've got to decide what I'm going to do with this path here. So that's pretty sturdy now. I may go over it with a bit of paper mache when I do this one, strengthen it a little bit, but it's coming on, as you can see. The decision's made now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, put a little strengthening piece in there. This is going to be a ramp up here, right? So that's going to be cobbled like so. So that's going to go on there, and it's going to meet up with another cobbled path, footpath, that comes down here. So this will be coming down here, this will meet up with this one, and I've built some stone walls at the side here, one, and I've lost the other one. There is another one around somewhere. Oh, there it is. So we've got two stone walls there. So I'm going to cover those in stone before I glue them, and then there's going to be a small wall going back from here to here. So that's going to go in there. I can cut that off roughly and show you. So a little bit at a time, too long. Remember, you can always take a bit more off, but you can't put it back on. There we go. Right, so then I'm going to cover those walls now in stone, and then I'm going to glue that up later, and then we got the ramp in place. I've got the retaining walls built now, so it's time to glue those into place. So that's one. I'm just going to have to clear the surplus off there with something. Got a little bit too much glue on there. In fact, I'll wipe it off and then stick it back on again. There we go. It was oozing out. I don't think you can see it from there, but it was oozing out. So the next one is this wall, goes on this side. I'm putting lots on because this is the thin glue. So these are going to be retaining walls, so they're going to have to be built up afterwards with some ground cover or vegetation or something. But for now, I think that's going to be fine there. It's not going in properly in the corner there. Why not? There's a little bit of something. I'm going to have to cut a little snitch out there. See, you should always get this done before. Always try it before you glue it. There we go. I think that's okay now. You know what? I should put a little bit on the side of these as well. I'm just going to take that off, put some glue on there, That's what you call double indemnity. So it's glued at the bottom and at the side as well. Same with this one. I'm going to stick a bit of glue along there. Just that little bit more security that it's not going to drop off later on. So I'll probably put coping stones on top of these, I don't know yet, but then this will have to be filled in because it is a retaining wall. So I didn't know what I was going to do originally, but now I've made that decision. That's going to be filled in, and I'll use some paper mache on that after. But for now, that's looking good. I'm now coming on to the paper mache part. So what I've done, I've set up my model there that I'm going to do, and it's a little bit on the primitive side this, but I've got some glue which is 50% PVA glue, and what I'm going to do is to start to build up this with little bits of paper like so, and I really want to build up a little bit higher at this side where it goes up at an angle, and then we spread that over there, and you know what, I can dip that in there, that's easier, don't have to pour it out then. Keep it wet. I cut those little holes in there because it was easier to bend at the time. So those holes will be filled up now, and I'm just going to keep sticking little bits of paper on here and building it up, and then going over it again with the glue brush until I get the desired thickness. So it's going to be quite a laborious task, and it'll take me quite a while. So I may just go into my ultra speed mode and get it done a little bit quicker. So that's what I'm going to do at a certain stage here now. I'm also going to strengthen the road part here. Like I say, it's PVA glue this, 50% water, and if you think back to the old days before we could afford white glue, you could use flour and water. It does exactly the same trick. So if you're ever stuck with no glue, you get your flour and water out and just mix it up like a batter, and it does exactly the same job as this. In these little bits in the corner here where it needs filling up a lot, what you can do to save a little bit of time is roll it up into a little ball like this and stick that down, and then get some more glue on top of it. It'll all strengthen in the end. So you get the idea now. So now you can watch it in a little bit faster speed. See now, that didn't take long at all, did it? I'm getting really good at this now. See, I can do things fast, can't I? Hey! Anyway, we just got to wait for it to dry now, and then we'll take a look at it on the next day. I've now got the wall sections ready for going in. I've painted them up. You can see these are the stone copings that go on top of the walls. So I've already done this one on the platform side. So next I'm going to do these. This one here. And that one. Put plenty on. A little bit on the jointer as well. That's one on. And I'll put some on this joint as well. Double indemnity again. And these were all nicely mitered up beforehand. So you should see a very nice joint there when it's finished. Make sure you got it parallel, which I have. And the last one is this one. I don't really need any weights on those. The glue is sufficient to set those off. So there. How does that look now? And as I said, this is the station side over here. The platform is going to be roughly at this height. So that's how much you will see when it's finished. So I've got to distress all this brickwork now and make it look old. And then the fun part starts. I've got the cobbled footpath coming down from the weighbridge all the way down to the station, and we've got the cobbled path in there going up to meet up with that one. And this is going to be the road then. We've got the road in there, and then this is all going to be the vegetation. So I'm looking forward to that part. That's going to be the best part of all. So we should be doing that. Maybe, I think I might finish this video off and do one more to get it completed. I think because of time constraints I'll do that. So this will be the last of this part 2, and hopefully part 3 should be available in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching. Bye.